Hey, yo, what it is and what's good, y'all? Welcome back to 280+Podcast. I'm your host, Los Def, and I'm here with my co-host, Marijani. I mean, I stole her for another week, you know what I mean? And we just diving into some stuff. It's been a heavy week of content and news and drama and craziness. And you know where we're gonna start. We're gonna start with what's his nickname? Brother Love.
Brother Love.
Brother Love is
giving the love to people that don't even want the love.
Oh man, forcing the love. You know what I mean? And all right, man. So I've always been. I'm not a fan of him, but just as a businessman, like Diddy, always has been I know that he's been snaking people out of money and things like that, but I'm like, some people be like, well, it's better than it's a black man and it's a white man. You know what I mean? I don't know, people be on that type of stuff, whatever. So always kind of recognize him as a prominent figure. You know what I mean? And the crazy thing is he's done good things in his life. You know what I mean? For people and he do shit, whatever. But there's definitely a dark side to his lifestyle, to his lifestyle. And all type of rumors are always swirling around, whether it's his personal preferences and proclivities and how he gets down, but also business wise, whatever. But then what we seen last week, we seen Cassie. Cassie came forward and dropped a $30 million lawsuit, and she made some very damaging claims of sexual assault, claims of we'll call it grape, you know what I mean, because YouTube whatever call it grape, whatever, and then all these different stories. It's a 30-page document, and people have been digging into this document. She got people that are corroborating her story, things like that, and then I don't know. So then do you want to talk about this first? And then, because I feel like right after that it went away. Well, it didn't go away, but it kind of.
Yeah. Okay, so it's a little off topic, but I had no idea she was ever dating
Kid Cudi.
She was ever dating Kid Cudi.
Me neither. I never knew that either. I never knew that. So yeah. So do you want to get into this first, or just everything and then just talk about it?
Everything and then just talk about it.
All right. So then, was it 24 hours? It wasn't that long.
24 or 48. It wasn't past 48.
All right. So within 24 to 48 hours, Cassie settles the lawsuit. And then in a statement, right, she basically talks about how she has decided to resolve this amicably. And that's the part where I think a lot of people take umbrage to, and that don't sit well with a lot of people, because if you're saying you was trafficked, if you saying you was raped, if you saying you was assaulted, you was forced to do all this type of stuff, whatever, a lot of people are looking at that as ain't nothing amicable about that, whatever. Mm-hmm. So then a lot of people feel like, oh, this was just about money, whatever. So reactions, what do you think? What's your take on it?
I feel like people are stupid because it was a civil lawsuit. It was always going to involve money. I feel as though if the police force went to, I don't really know who goes. So it was said that when you have a civil suit, what comes out in the trial can result in an investigation. And I feel like even with that 30-page document, things can come. Investigation can come out of it if someone really wanted to investigate him.
Yeah.
But it's always, no matter if the civil suit was going to go to trial or not, it's always that thing of his power and the money he has that might prevent someone doing an investigation. But I do feel like it just, even though they Brother Love put out that whole just because we settled doesn't mean that we, we're confirming these accusations.
Yeah.
Who gives away that amount of money? You don't even give that amount of money to the people under your label. So you gave that amount of money to someone that has all these accusations against you, and you didn't do any of it.
I think he was paying her for services rendered. Yeah, back services.
Even though he don't pay for services rendered other people under his label.
Ooh, Well,
Like,
but then again, though, I think people get that fucked up too. Is like when you're a producer, that's part you made the music, like you're part of the music. Like you use my equipment, motherfucker. You use
I
my
understand that, but
producer.
at what point would you settling in a settlement with outrageous accusations and that you did not do, any of it? At what point do you not say this is a generous? I didn't do any of this stuff, but I'm going to give you $30 million. That
Yeah,
is very generous.
yeah, that is
Someone
very.
that didn't do these accusations.
Yeah,
So the only other conclusion I can come to is that you did all the shit she said you did because you're not even this generous with people that you employ.
yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point. I don't think. Here's the thing too. Like I think to say he did all, I don't know. So yeah, because we'll never know. We'll never know because it's not going to go to trial when in terms of her, you know what I mean, whatever. And she's probably not allowed, like part of the settlement, she probably part of the settlement was her having to say that they settled it amicably. And it's probably in it that like he probably locked it tight with NDAs and stuff like that, where she's probably not allowed. Like we're never going to hear Cassie talk about this ever again.
Never.
You know what I mean? And like, cause it's probably gonna be, you know, I mean, she's gonna lose money or whatever. I don't know. But so here's the thing, like, obviously she was his girlfriend or, you know, shit, based on these accusations, it sounded like she was a sex slave, you know what I'm saying? Whatever. I think, obviously it's sinister because how young she was, you know what I mean? And like, obviously he, you know, he made her do some things that she definitely didn't want to do. I would assume though that like, you know, just kind of like she kind of almost got used to this world, you know what I mean? And some of the stuff like, because like they were saying like male prostitutes, I don't think it wasn't no strangers. Like I think all these people that's in this world, they all part of the payroll, you know what I'm saying? So like she probably know these people like by name, by face, probably got comfortable with some of these people. Not saying none of it is right, whatever, but like she was in a weird world that she kind of just like, I guess got used to, got accustomed to, whatever. But slave though, it's like, could she get out? Because she got out somehow. I don't. Did he break up with her? Did she dump it? You know what I mean? Like, how did she get out? Like, if
if you think about how she got out under somebody new. So I think it was just a matter of someone coming along and providing her that security and protection. Because that white boy don't seem like he's scared. What he had commented on something before about him. He don't seem like he's scared. He seemed like he's with the shit. So he might even have money that backs him too. So I feel like she just needed that outing. She got with this man when she was young and she couldn't even do what she got with this man to do. Like she couldn't even do music no more. You know, there was something out about, I didn't look too much into it but about her and Ryan Leslie and how he had stopped that musical relationship, which I know that when she was making music, it was with Ryan Leslie and it was bomb ass fucking music.
Yeah.
So then there was the whole Kid Cudi claim about him threatening Kid Cudi, and then Kid Cudi's car gets blown up. The exact threat that Diddy had already told him, like, you know what I mean, that already threatened. So I feel like she just didn't, in all those years, she couldn't come across somebody powerful enough and brave enough to get her out of that situation.
Okay. All right. That's probably,
That's she needed help. She wasn't doing it by herself.
Yeah, that's probably fair. And some people will say like, oh, she had resources and money or whatever. I'm like, but if she was under Diddy, like in some capacity, like we know how he controls people's money and like, you know what I mean? So she probably didn't have the resources that we think that she had. Like if people assume like she's a millionaire.
It's easy to assume someone has a reason. You see somebody with a Benz, you think they got money. It's easy to assume that.
Yeah, like it's anything that she probably had from Diddy, he could just take away from her. You know what I'm saying? So again, just leaving her like destitute and whatever. So let's just run down some of these things that people are alleging. And all this stuff has kind of come out in the process of it. So it said, and I read this post, whatever. It said, Diddy allegedly dislocated Drake's shoulder. And like I said, this is all a bunch of stuff that's just been coming out about him.
Yeah.
Allegedly dislocated Drake's shoulder over 0 to 100 beat. Allegedly slapped J. Cole for taking up for Kendrick Lamar, allegedly blew up Kid Cudi's car for dating Cassie. Allegedly, I'm saying allegedly for all this because you ain't about to put none of that on me, whatever. Allegedly tried to pour a drink on Kendrick Lamar because of his controversy, saying he's the king of New York. And then the last thing I seen, most recent thing, allegedly, because Wale's team is saying it never happened, allegedly held Wale over a studio balcony for supposedly flirting with Cassie. And it says, but people don't believe he assaulted and raped her. You know what I'm saying? So, wow, man, this
I
guy,
never heard about the Drake. Well, I did see it recently, but I never heard about it like in rumors. Never heard about the Wale thing. But I feel like that just came out of thin air. Why would that just come? Wale's a random ass fucking person. Like what? Like to say, because Wale be in the cut. Like
he don't really, he's not prominent
the
no more.
only thing I can see is maybe they exaggerated the events. Maybe he like pressed him and didn't actually like put him over no balcony. Maybe he pressed him and they was both out on the balcony like, yo, what's up? You know what I mean? But for them to just say Wale, like Wale out of all people.
Wale out of all people. So yeah, so I guess then but yeah, I guess this was the statement though that Cassie had to make. She said, I have decided to resolve this matter amicably on terms that I have some level of control. That's a weird ass statement there. I want to thank my family, fans, lawyers for their unwavering support, whatever. And then he said, we have decided to resolve this matter amicably. I wish Cassie and her family all the best. Love. That is sick, yo. Like, I don't know. Like, it just comes off.
Wait, so
crazy.
Who made that statement?
So the first statement was Cassie, and then the second one was Diddy.
So why did you think the control statement was wow?
Because again, like when you talking about what you're accusing him of saying, whatever, or accusing him of doing whatever, like the amicable part is like, it don't feel like this is something that you could just be like, you know, it's okay. We're just gonna shake hands and I'm gonna take my check. Like, it just don't seem like it's something that you would do, whatever. And then some level of control. Why have any level of control? Like a 30-page document already came out with all these claims, whatever. You know what I mean?
Okay, so I understand what you're saying about the amicably, but the level of control has to do with rape victims. And the control being taken away from them. So that is often when you read up on those type of assaults, a struggle that comes after that is the level of control. They don't feel like they're safe anymore. So I definitely understand that, and I think that goes back to the analytics of victims of sexual assault. So I didn't think that part was crazy, but definitely the we'll resolve this amicably, because now when it comes to perception is different. I do think it would have been a little bit more controlling if you would have been like, nah, we're going to trial. But it also there also is a level of trauma that goes with that. So I'm not going to be obtuse to that either, because you have to go through all these counts one by one. I'm not sure, as you know, there's there's what am I looking for? There's years that you can't prosecute someone for
statute of limitations. Statute
of limitations. So I wouldn't be surprised if that's up, because they haven't been together for at least 5 years now. So I do understand not going that route.
Yeah.
So, and they're like, oh, well, you would have to go through that with, a criminal, investigation. Yeah, well, she's not going through that because the statute of limitations is probably up anyway. So, yeah. And then I did see comments about people saying, well, why didn't she go to the police for sooner and etc. Yeah. And it's like, you can't tell someone how to deal with trauma. You can't.
Okay. Yeah. And to be honest, when you're not dealing with a regular guy, you're dealing with a billionaire. So he can make all this shit go away. You know what I mean? He can make all of this go away. He probably got some police on payroll. You know what I'm saying?
We talk about how corrupt law enforcement is, and we're talking about a guy that has more money than everybody combined, and you don't think
he don't think he can make that. He made this go away. And again, we're still talking about it, but again, it's essentially it's gone. We're not gonna, it's only gonna be people like us speculating about it, whatever. But we're not gonna hear about this from him. We're not gonna hear about it from her. It's just gonna be other people talking, and I don't know. I feel that. I understand why in her situation it's probably felt near impossible to, you know what I mean, and she probably feared for her safety, you know what I mean, because he could probably kill her and make that go away, you know what I mean, and then people now they talking about, let's dig into his, ex-wife's death, and I'm like,
those rumors were around when she died. That wasn't new.
Oh, okay, so
yeah.
So that stuff is resurfacing. How do you feel about it? Well, and the thing with statute of limitations, people were saying that a lot of people were saying that a lot of this crime stuff was up on the criminal stuff, and then there was a law that was passed that like gave people a window for civil cases, and like this was like the last year that she could have did that, whatever. So, but the reason what I'm not understanding is because, and I looked up, I assume this is in New York, right? Like I'm assuming like it would be state of New York, right? So a lot of the statute of limitations for serious sexual felonies is like I forget, I looked it up. It's like almost 20 years, like whatever. So like I'm thinking like, well, what are they saying? Like what would be up in terms of the limitations there? Because it seems like you probably could still try him for some of those cases, but like I don't know exactly what they were gonna try to move forward with, whatever. And I'm like,
I do feel like law is very tricky, especially with charges. Like we'll hear about a crime and we'll think a certain charge will come of it, and it doesn't. It's like a completely different charge. It might be lesser, it might be more.
Yeah.
So I feel like that is a very tricky game to try to play.
Yeah.
And then when it comes to grape, that's already hard. Like even though they did say there was a lot of evidence in there, a trial work, that's a long time to deal with. That's a lot of things, and you still have to deal with these effects regardless. Yeah. So like I don't really know if that would have been the best route regardless, because you still have to deal with the trauma that this came with. You still have to deal with the fact that this nigga has so much money. He still can have pool inside jail. Like that doesn't stop anything. It doesn't like, you know what I mean? So she might just be like, just not wanting to fight. I feel like it's okay to not want to have to. Like some of us want to fight, some of us don't. And that's like the difference in us as people.
Yeah, yeah. So how do you feel in general about statute of limitations? Because then Slim Thug went on to he did a rant in his car. He was just saying like how, you know, it should be like you shouldn't be able to come back to me saying I did this, saying I did that, whatever. Like, do you think statute of limitations should be extended for certain things? Do you agree? Like, do you feel like they should be shortened? I don't know. What do you think? And do you think that should be a thing at all? Whatever. Because statute of limitations in general, I think people always look at it like, oh, it's only helps the person that's being accused, but it actually helps all parties, whatever, because the idea of statute of limitations is that, you know, as time goes on, it becomes harder to retrieve evidence. Like evidence could be destroyed, and you can't really defend yourself. Like you can't really defend yourself against certain accusations. Witness testimony tends to get a little bit. I mean, if you asking me something that happened 15, 20 years ago, my memory, it's not going to be reliable testimony, whatever. So like, so it does protect the person in defense, but it actually helps the person accusing, because if I do it sooner, everything is fresh. Everything is, I mean, and we could probably still prove a lot of this stuff, whatever. But like, what did you think about Slim Thug's comments?
I never thought about that perspective. That's it. That's true. I thought he was fucking dumb, and then when I found out he had a baby to his cousin, I was like, okay, well, I don't want to listen to anything you have to say, because your discernment is already crappy. So, but I think anything involving the harm of another human being, and I don't mean that can get shaky. I don't mean, it's going to sound insensitive, but I don't mean like someone that ODs or something, because technically you selling drugs harmed that person because they took the drugs and they OD. I don't mean that, but I mean direct harm to another human being. I feel like there should be no statute of limitations, but I do understand how it gets shaky and it's harder to prove. But things like, oh, they stole a candy bar, they stole groceries and shit. I don't feel like that should. I think there.
You can't hold that on me for 20 years.
Yeah, like,
I mean, like a week.
But when we're talking about sexual assault, I don't think there should ever be that. It's already hard enough to prove that in the first place, to be honest.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because and also you probably don't have evidence of the trauma happening to you like the longer. But I agree. I think with serious crimes, like maybe, you know, it could be a longer window. I think for the civil stuff though, like, because then it makes it seem like, you know what I mean? If especially if your target is a rich person, whatever, it's always, whether that's what it happens or not, it's always going to seem like you're going for the check. Like you just going for the check. You know what I mean? Like that's all you wanted. Like, and so, you know, maybe you're down and out and it's like, oh, I need some money right now. let me pull this out, whatever. And a lot of times these rich people, since they wanted to go away, you gonna get something out of it. You gonna get a check. Like it's, yeah, I mean, what it might not be exactly what you asked for, but you're gonna be something. So I feel like civil, that's the where the crime stuff is. I'm more like, all right, that's cool. The civil stuff, I'm a little bit more gray on. I'll be like, I don't know, man. I don't know.
I can see that.
So, but all right, so moving on, and this will be the last thing we talked about. You brought up this topic of how do I feel about women, was it sending their, it says, yeah, another possible, said moms letting their kids live with their dad. All right, so this was based on, and this is the second time I've ever talked about anything Tasha K has ever done, but and I'm feeling like messy. I'm feeling messy as fuck talking about her content, whatever. So she has Sukiana's baby dad. She's doing an interview with this motherfucker, whatever, and apparently she been she makes claims in her music that it's this and that, whatever, but like her baby dad actually has custody of the kids, and he's had custody of the kids for a little bit. But I guess, yeah, your question was like, how do I feel about like moms letting their kids live with their dad? I'm a dad that takes care of my kid. I don't think it's nothing wrong with it. You know what I mean? Now leaving your kid with me and like never coming back, like you went out for some milk and you never came back, that's fucked up. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
You know what I mean? But no, like I think,
So does your son reside with you? Like, is he on your paperwork or is he on mom's paperwork?
it's kind of like both. It's weird. It's kind of like both. Like, so technically it is his mom's. I mean, like that's his address. So based on his school and things like that, whatever. But we live in the same school district. And but like, he's on my insurance, you know what I mean, and things like that. So like, and we definitely share time with him, whatever. But like, there's maybe there might be times where she, if she would come to me and say like, hey, I want to, I can't do this, or I don't know what she would say, whatever. But like, if she was on some like, yo, I think he should live with you, I would probably initially I'd be like, I'm gonna question it only because I'm like, are you sure you cool with this? Like, are you sure like this is what you want to do? Because it's still gonna have an effect on your kid. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Once you just especially if it feels like you just giving them away.
Yeah, it's different when they ask to live. Like, I want to live with my dad.
Yeah. But like, if you are just literally relinquishing and just saying like, yeah, I need you to take, like, I'm gonna be hesitant only off of like, is this what you really want? Whatever.
Right.
But I'm gonna assume the responsibility, and I'm gonna be cool with it. I'm not gonna panic like too much. I know it's gonna be, there's gonna be certain things in my life that's gonna alter whatever. But like, I feel like I have enough of a support system. I have a village to where.
Right. But I do feel like if y'all are both active parents, then it shouldn't really feel a difference. Like the kids shouldn't feel a difference of being at one house versus the other. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's like all my stuff is at dad's house now, but I'm still seeing my mom for like every other weekend and 2 days out of the week, every week. You know what I mean? So that might not be the same. But I was asking that because then there was a girl in the comments that said she has 4 kids that live with their dad in Egypt, and she visits once a year. So while I acknowledge that I feel like we have a stigma against kids living with their dads, like we have a stigma against women that let their kids live with their dads, and I don't like that. And I understand it's like, it's something that I think about it as well, because I have what's that called, an engraved stigma against it.
Yeah.
But at some point, like, single mothers are always talking about, the dads need to be active, kids need 2 parents. At what point are you just switching the single, I don't want to be a single mom, you're going to be a single dad? Like, I feel like the goalpost is always to have 2 active parents. So why would your kids live with their dad and you only visit them once a year? That is crazy to me.
Yeah.
So it's not even just the effect of like them living with their dad, all their stuff is with their dad. Like, why are you only visiting once a year? At that point, you just flip-flop roles and you're the deadbeat.
Yeah. And are you a bitch ass nigga if you ask her for child support at that point in time? Like, you know what I mean? Or is that your right? Or is that your right?
Yeah, I think she did say she pays him. But at that point, you're no better than the deadbeat dad that pays, a mom to do it by herself.
Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, like, is that a weird, because because men getting child support, like that's like, how dare you ask for fucking, like, is that weird? Like
some
a man
bitch ass nigga shit when your kids don't live with you, because there is ways, tricks to this, there's tricks to all the system and every little thing, but like there is people that pay child support and the kids technically don't live with the fucking dad. Like all your stuff is here. So I'm not in that position.
That's
but like
nasty.
All the stuff
that's
I know people, all the stuff is with the mom at the mom's house. They go to dad's house and they pack a bag. But the dad is getting child support because that's just the way the cookie crumbles when it comes to income.
Yeah.
And I think that's some bitch ass nigga shit. Now, if your kids live with you full time, then get child support.
Yeah.
And I can't even say live with you full time, because if y'all both active, I feel like child support is really, who's the person that's signing up for daycare? Who's the person that's getting that bill? Who's the person that's, you know what I mean? That's the person that should be getting child support, because it's really like, I feel like in all aspects, y'all all should be splitting it down the middle.
Yeah. I agree with that. I remember this was a long time ago. This is when I worked retail. I worked at Radio Shack, whatever. And I had a coworker, and there's a woman. She was paying her baby dad child support, whatever. And I'm thinking, like, you make, like, you wasn't, she, we made a lot on commission, whatever. And she wasn't that, tenured. She wasn't that experienced. She wasn't that good at what she did, whatever. So I knew she wasn't making that much money. So I'm thinking, like, what the fuck kind of child support is this man getting? And I knew the dad too, and he's a sleazy dude and whatever. I was like, bro.
And she was active with her kids.
I would assume, yeah. And again, I don't think I know the little girl went back and forth, whatever. You know what I mean? So
right. So yeah, she was somewhat active.
Whatever. And so like she's paying him child support, and I was like, that.
And people think that
crazy.
Is so unheard of. That's really a real thing.
Yeah, and he probably was getting like, some bullshit, right? $50 a week, you know what I mean? But it's like at that point, it's like, bro, like you can't just cover that $200 a month, like. Yeah.
And you gotta think, that means she was probably making more than him.
Yeah,
so that means he was making, like, what were you making? What were you providing?
I don't know, but that's nasty work. But like you said, I agree with you saying, like, it should never be a situation where we're just swapping roles and like almost doing it out of spite. Like, haha, it's my turn to be a deadbeat motherfucker. Like, you know what I mean? Like, who raised you? Like, where are we doing that at? Like, that's not good. So nasty world. So yeah, we could talk about child support and stuff like that another day, another time. Anything else? Thanksgiving, anything else? You know what I mean?
No.
Gonna cover? Are you cooking, or are you going somewhere?
No, but I'm going somewhere. I'm not cooking. I think I cooked last year. I was over it.
Okay. Yeah, I'm ultimate guest. I'm gonna be at my dad's. I mean, I only gotta bring. My dad is so basic, bro. Like he's cool with Patti LaBelle sweet potato pies. He's like, yeah, just bring 2 of them motherfuckers over here. And I'm like,
is he a cooker?
Yeah, he cooks, whatever, but he loves store-bought desserts. Like, he don't really fuck with homemade sweet potato pie. He's like, nah, Patty does it for me. And I'm
Patty does it. I don't like pie like that.
Okay. Yeah, I like sweet potato pie, pecan pie. Yeah, I mean, but yeah, other than that,
you don't like pumpkin pie?
No, I don't like white sweet potato pie. Like, that's
white sweet. That's what that is.
That's white people sweet potato pie. Like, that's bullshit. That's fake sweet potato pie. Like, no, we not fuck with that. But yeah, so have a happy Thanksgiving. Enjoy the holidays. Don't get ran over and trampled on Black Friday. I don't know if it's still crazy like that anymore, but yeah, don't go crazy out there. So be safe out there, everybody. But yeah, so if y'all still watching, I need you to hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, tap into us, tap into our recap show as well. This is another episode of 280+ Podcast, y'all. We out. Peace. All right.